everybody, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. And today I'm going to talk about a band which was one of my early musical loves, namely The Doors. And The Doors have something magical about them, mythical, and something very, very dark. And I guess I'll talk about a bit about that later on. But shall I just start off my top 5? Yeah, I'll just do that. On the number 5 of best The Doors albums, I'm gonna put this one, Morrison Hotel. Don't you just love this cover? I think this photograph has so much of the attitude which the band was getting back to at the time. It is very real, it's raw, it makes me think of touring, of very ugly hotel bars. And that's also interesting because this record was at the time, after they made the Soft Parade, which had loads of orchestral elements, and it was slammed down in the media, the Soft Parade, so they decided to get back to their more blues roots, and you hear it on this album. It's much rougher, it's much more honest. It has very interesting blues elements in it. And yeah, Morrison Hotel, it doesn't contain any big hit singles, but its overall feel and atmosphere is why I put it in the 5th place. And it might not have big hit singles, but it does have Roadhouse Blues. It has Waiting for the Sun, which is interesting because there's a record before this, Waiting for the Sun, which does not contain the song Waiting for the Sun. They used the recording of that song for this record. And somehow, although the entire record wasn't recorded at one time, it does make a very interesting whole as a total, you know. This is a very good album. Peace Frog is on it. It's a very great album, and initially I didn't really understand it until I bought this vinyl. This is the second American pressing, and the warmth on this pressing made me understand much more what this album was all about. I talk a lot about pressings, but I cannot stress enough that the feeling of music has to do with the quality and does it sound the way it was intended. And the closer you get to the main source, mostly a first pressing, but any pressing that was done good with the master tapes might get you to the place where the artists were while recording it. And this record got me to that place, and I really, really love it. And also, the corner is cut off. Somebody told me that you can find more American albums with the corners cut off or a little snip in it. And supposedly it has to do with something being sold by for a refund or something, so you can't get the full refund back. It's terrible because you should not cut in records, but that's why I do it. The number 4 of this list is actually a live record, and I'm talking about this one. Absolutely live. I love it for its entire feel. This is just a very, very interesting album. I think The Doors cannot be understood without getting into the live experience of listening to their songs. And you know, of course I couldn't have seen them live, but there are some very good live recordings of The Doors. Actually, I love this record, but there is even a better live recording which has not been released on vinyl. I think they really should release that. It's a 1971 show. No, 1971 show. A very long show, 2.5 hour show. I'll look into it. But this is a 60s show, and it's rough. It's great. It's brilliant. As a matter of fact, I've put down 2 other things if you're interested in the Doors live. You should really also check out this Blu-ray, The Doors live at the Hollywood Bowl. It's very, very good Blu-ray. It has the entire set, directed by Ray Manzarek, the keyboard player of The Doors. This is a very good image of an early Doors show. Jim Morrison without the beard, very energetic. There's an edginess to him. You don't know where he's going. He's very energetic. But my personal favorite even, although you should start with this one, I even prefer this one, which was released, I believe, 1 or 2 years ago. It's on the Isle of Wight. It's also a very beautiful Blu-ray. It's a show of, I believe, an hour, and Jim Morrison is rather stoned. He's not really there, but it makes him so mythical. It was recorded a couple of weeks or months before his death, and you can sense, no, not months, a year, but you can sense him taking distance in the band, leaving away. He's going somewhere else with his mind. It's somewhat even morbid, if you know how he ended, but it's mythical. And that's interesting about the Doors live. They have this mythical quality to them. And that's what I'm searching for when I want to see the Doors live. It's mythical. It's interesting improvisations. And you, if you want to know something about the Doors, you just have to also get involved in the live shows. On number 3, LA Woman. Yeah, this album has written goodbye all over it. It turns 50 this year. It's the last record with Jim Morrison. He got much more out of his mind. He was hard to control, but somehow this record had an energy and a roughness and a bluesiness that might even also have to do with the alcohol and cocaine rush Jim Morrison was on. He is rough and direct, and a song like LA Woman, with his voice being already on the edge of breaking, it just sounds wonderful. Highlight of this album, yeah, it's easy. Riders on the Storm. 7 minutes of mystery, mythical, great song, great record. The number 2 of this list. I love this one as well. Strange Days. It took me a while to get into it. I always thought it was interesting, but then again I listened to a digital pressing, and then I bought this one in Amsterdam on Waterloo Market, and this is a first American stereo pressing, and this got it right. It's rough, full, warm, and mysteriously sounding. It's got so much brilliant songs, but the atmosphere is in here, and that's what's important with these Doors songs. Strange Days. I mean, the way a musical landscape is created for the songs of Jim Morrison, his lyrics, it's so amazing. Love Me Two Times, of course, a great hit. Moonlight Drive, I really love that song. People Are Strange, wonderful hit. Wonderful video clip as well. And then as a big ending, when the music's over, turn off the light. I really love this. It's a brilliant album. I love the photograph of the cover as well. Now, number 1 best Doors album. This is actually an easy pick, of course. Everybody knows what's gonna come. It's their debut, The Doors. You might also even call this a best of album. I mean, I'll talk you through it. Break On Through to the Other Side. Opening song. If you're opening your record with Break On Through to the Other Side, kicks ass. Soul Kitchen, The Crystal Ship, 20th Century Fox. There is a rough power in those songs. I really love it. Alabama Song, Show Me the Way to the Next Whiskey Bar, which is a Bertolt Brecht Kurt Weill song. That's, I believe, the only cover. No, not the only cover. Backdoor Man, written by Willie Dixon, is also on here. But Alabama Song is an old German Bertolt Brecht Kurt Weill song, which they reimagined in a brilliant manner. It's an awesome song. Light My Fire. Do I need to say more? Then comes Backdoor Man. They even made it sound better than Howlin' Wolf and Willie Dixon. Quite a different chord progression. It's very interesting. I Looked at You, End of the Night, Take It As It Comes, and then as a final song, The End, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. The press in those days wrote that the gothic rock started with The End, and after that Nico made the Marble Index, and she had a relationship with Jim Morrison. So the goth rock is in Jim Morrison and in Nico at the beginning, and this record is at the beginning of that. I love this album. I love this album. I have it in a 45 RPM Analog Productions pressing, which is very good, but I'm still looking out for a first US mono. So give me a sign if you give me a note or send me a mail if you've got one. But this sounds great. That's my top 10 of Doors albums. So let me know, what do you think? And I'll be back again with another top 5 list. Bye!